Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise is going to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Racha, Kedash, double honors, going to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, salutations going to the hopefully elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, diligently laboring in his truth and all righteousness and sincerity, putting your life on the line to proclaim this gospel. All right. And I want to jump into the topic of Japheth is the white man, and Esau is not the so-called white man. All right, which coming into this truth, this is one of the first things that you learn. Who was Esau and who was Jacob? Because, going into prophecy, these are the two main characters, if you will, that pertain to end time prophecy, Esau and Jacob. Right? It tells you in the book of 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So it tells you right there in that verse that at the end of the world, before Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, comes back, Esau would be in rulership of the planet Earth. And after he is taken down, Jacob, which are the 12 tribes of Israel, are going to rule on the earth, reign on the earth with the kingdom of heaven. Okay? So it tells you that in 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. So when you look at who's ruling in these last days, Salakia, who is the most dominant nation upon the earth right now that has control of all the earth's resources? They have an embassy in every nation. They have militaries all over the earth, man. They have the strongest political clout. Who else can it be? It's the so-called white man. It's Esau Edom. Okay? That's who's ruling right now. And in the midst of Esau's rulership, Yahweh Shah is going to come back, take this man down, and set up the everlasting kingdom. And Esau Edom, okay, the so-called white man, woman, and child is going to slavery, man. Okay, that's saith the scriptures. All right, so this whole doctrine of Japheth is the white man. I understand where it comes from, and we're going to get into it today. I understand where it comes from, but again, is very this is a very low level doctrine, because this can easily be cut. This right here, the Japheth, is the white man, can easily be cut, man. So that's what we're going to get into today, just to, double down on it. And the thing is, plenty of documentaries, plenty of videos, plenty of lessons have been made on this same exact topic. So how can anyone, and mainly I'm referring to Ron Dalton, okay, because with the Hebrews to Negroes documentary, he's teaching that Japheth is the white man, all right, which is completely off. That's not supported by scriptures in any capacity, right? But that's one of the things, and he said a number of other things as well. We're not going to deal with in this video, but the main thing we're going to deal with is that he's teaching that Japheth is the white man. And the reason why I'm even doing this video is because Hebrews to Negroes has reached a broader audience now because of course, Kyrie Irving. So now this thing is out there, and it's beautiful that our people are waking up. It's beautiful that our people are coming into the truth and learning who they are, learning about their history, learning about who their enemies are, and learning about our salvation that we have afforded to us, right? But we also have to stamp out the false doctrine, and when you watch documentaries like that, it's a good documentary for those of our people that are just coming out of Christianity, or they just waking up to the fact that they're Israelite. It's good to watch and get kind of the base level information. But even after you watch that, you have to have discernment to be able to discern what's the facts and what's false. See, and that's where we come in, because brothers have been studying, brothers have done the research, so we can show you in the scriptures and also with history that Japheth being the white man is not the case, right? So this is more so for the brothers and sisters that are not quite sure what the truth is. We're gonna get into it today. We're gonna show you, but no, Ron Dalton, you going off, bro. All right, Esau is not the white man. What's Salakia? Esau is the white man. Japheth is not the white man. Okay. Because when you get into the history of Japheth were the original inhabitants of Europe and Asia Minor. And when you go into the history, which we're going to get today, they were dark-skinned people. All right, Esau is known as red in the scriptures because his blood showed forth through his skin. All right, so we're gonna start here. This is the Easton's Bible Dictionary for Japheth. It says, widespreading, God shall enlarge Japheth. Genesis 29 and 27. Some, however, derive the name from Yaphah, to be beautiful, hence white. And you gotta be careful with these certain talking points. Okay, because this here is inserted. Okay, Yaphah, to be beautiful, but then they inserted this here, hence white. All right, this is an insertion from these scholars, man. Okay, and this is another reason why you have to be careful, because when you see things like this, a brother will come and say, "Oh, see, well, it says in the Eastern Bible Dictionary that hence white, so Japheth was the white man." No, see, this is an insertion, man, because when we get into the history, like I said, Japheth, the original inhabitants of Europe, which were the Japhetic people, were dark skinned, and we're going to show you. One of the sons of Noah mentioned last in order, perhaps first by birth, he and his wife were two of the 8 saved in the ark. He was the progenitor of many tribes inhabiting, pay attention, the east of Europe and the north of Asia. Now, it's not just the east of Europe. All right, Japheth was up in West Europe, France, England, Spain, Portugal, right, and north of Asia, Asia Minor. An act of filial Salakia piety was the occasion of Noah's prophecy, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're going to stop right there. And another way that you know that Japheth is not the so-called white man is that Japheth does not figure prominently anywhere in end days prophecy. When you go into end days prophecy, it's always mentioned Esau. You have a whole book called the Book of Obadiah, which we're going to get into, that deals with the judgment of Esau, Edom. All right, and going back to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, for Esau is the end of the world. Right, keep these things in mind. Esau is the end of the world. So who would be ruling before Yahweh Shai comes back? Esau, Edom. Okay. Now we're gonna do this real quick. All we're gonna do is type in Japheth, and we're gonna see how many times Japheth pops up in the scriptures. Let's do this. Japheth. So it says Japheth here is only mentioned 11 times in the scriptures. All right. See that? Mainly throughout Genesis and Chronicles, and really after that, you see no more mention of Japheth anymore. Now let's type in Esau. Let's type in Esau and see how many times Esau pops up in the scriptures. It says Esau occurs 90 times in 78 verses in the KJV. So you see that Esau, when you type in Esau, it pops up 90 times, okay? Throughout the books of Genesis to pretty much Hebrews, right? Yeah, Genesis 36 and 10. Genesis 25 and 25 to Hebrews 12 and 16. So Esau is all throughout the Old Testament and the New. All right. Now let's type in Edom. Let's type in Edom and see how many times that pops up. Edom occurs 87 times. See that, man? Esau, Edom. Okay. Book of Joshua, Judges, 1 Samuel. And it's not even just Edom, man. Amalek pops up a lot. Okay. All throughout the scriptures, man. All right. So now let's do this. Since we have that, we're gonna go back to the Eastern definition of Japheth. We're gonna stay right here because we're gonna jump down a little bit. But let's check this out. Okay. Now this is a map here, and it shows you where the descendants of Japheth were originally at. Okay, it shows you that they were all up in Europe. Okay, this is where Ham was, and Africa. You got Cush, Mizraim, Foot, Lumdim. The descendants of Ham, mainly the descendants of Shem. Okay, they was all up in here. Okay, Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Elam, Aram. Okay, they was all up in this Fertile Crescent region. This is where Japheth was at. Japheth are these names in the red. Tarshish, Spain, Rifat. They were, you know what I'm saying? They was all up in Europe, man. And where they get it confused is because Esau went in and conquered these regions. Now they say that, oh, the so-called white man is Japheth because Esau now dwells in these regions where Japheth was at originally. But these are not all of the Edomites that you see in Europe today. They're not the original inhabitants of the land. Here you got Kittim, okay, or Chittim, as it's mentioned in the scriptures, right? But you can see here, this just the visual illustration. That you have another one here. Japheth was up in Europe. Shem was down here. Ham, and that's what they teach you in Christianity. They teach you, oh yeah, well Noah had one white son, one black son, and Asian son or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is pure madness, man. Okay, the scriptures don't deal with that. Now we gonna jump back to the Eastern Bible Dictionary for Japheth. We gonna jump down, all right? Because it tells you down here, and this is accurate information. Let's see where I want to start. All right, let's start here. Setting aside the cases where the ethnic names employed are of doubtful application, it cannot reasonably be questioned that the author of Genesis 10 has in his account the sons of Japheth classed together the Kimri or Celts. Okay, so the original Celtic people were tribes of Japheth, descendants of Japheth. Okay, the Medes, Madai, and the Ionians or Greeks, Javan. So the original inhabitants of the European continent were descendants of Japheth. All right, thereby anticipating what has become known in modern times as the Indo-European theory, or the essential unity of the Aryan Asiatic race with the principal races of Europe, indicated by the Celts and the Ionians. Now, let's just stop right there because we got to separate. Okay, Japheth has his descendants, the Celts, the tribes of Europe. Okay, Esau descends from Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. Right? Esau is Shemitic. These tribes here are Japhetic. All right, the original Greeks and Ionians were descendants of Javan. All right, now you'll have these certain talking heads come out and say, "Oh yeah, well, the Greeks or the Grecians, they go back to Japheth." Well, indeed they do, but who came in and conquered the original Greeks? Esau, Edom, starting with the Greco-Roman Empire. Okay, they Esau went up in there. Okay, because you go back to Genesis 27 and 40, Esau's blessing was what? Let's go to it. Let's go and see what Esau's blessing was in Genesis 27. Because Isaac told him that by the sword shalt thou live. Genesis 27 and 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. See that? So Isaac told Esau that he should live by the sword. That was his blessing. Okay, so Esau is a master at warfare. He gained his whole kingdom through warfare. It was not prophesied that Japheth would gain his whole kingdom through warfare. Okay, the blessing of Japheth was not the sword. That's how Esau was able to go in to all these nations and conquer them so easily, because that was his blessing. See? All right, so now we gonna see who these original inhabitants of Europe were. Okay, now this is the Etruscans. Matter of fact, let me jump here to Wikipedia real quick. Let's just type in Etruscan, just make it easy. Etruscan history. Let's see. Etruscan expansion was focused both to the north beyond the Apennines and south into Campania. Some small towns disappeared during the 6th century, ostensibly consumed by greater, more powerful neighbors, which were the Edomites. All right. However, there is no doubt that the political structure of the Etruscan culture was similar, albeit more aristocratic, to Magna Graecia in the south. And Esau pretty much got his whole culture from the Japhetic people, okay, from the Etruscans. When you go into the history, the Roman Colosseum, bread and circus, the Roman way of life, all of that was taken from Etruscan culture. Okay, Esau being the master thief that he is, man. All right, let me see if they have anything. Um, Modern archaeologists have come to suggest that the history of the Etruscans can be traced relatively accurately based on examination of burial sites, artifacts, and writing. A separate Etruscan culture distinguishable from that of the possibly ancestral Villanovan people emerged in the beginning of the 8th century BC, evidenced by the inscriptions in a script similar to that used for the Euboean Greek. It says, all right, this is probably the wrong article. Let me see. You know what? Let's see this. Just bear with me for 1 second, Salakia. Look through this. Sources. Let's just get this map here, because the information that they have on here is not really like that edifying, to be honest. But you can see here, this is the original habitation of the Etruscans, which is a tribe of Japheth that Esau conquered. All right, you have something called the Roman Etruscan Wars, which happened between 265 and 264 BC, in which the Edomites, okay, in which the Romans came in and they conquered this entire area. All right, you even have a region in Italy today called Tuscany, which their name derives from the Etruscans. All right, that's where Tuscany comes from. So the so-called white man came in and conquered these original people. Now, when you type in Etruscans on Google, these are the images that you'll get. All right, dark-skinned people. This is what the original inhabitants of the lands look like. Dark skin, right? Let's go back. See this? It's Japheth. See that? Original Etruscans, man. There you go. And see that? Then you have the Minoans as well. All right, these are the original inhabitants of the island of Crete in the Mediterranean. And this is how they depicted themselves. These are the original inhabitants of Europe. All right, these are the Minoans. See that? And at one point, the whole earth was melanated. All right, until Esau came in and spread his seed amongst the indigenous people and altered the shade of the people, man. Here you go. These are the depictions that you will get, the Minoans. And right now, Esau with his damn with his damn censorship, man. He's actually trying to hide a lot of these images. You know what I'm saying? He's taking them down. So really, what you're gonna have to do real soon is go on like DuckDuckGo or a private search engine to actually get these images. And Esau the damn devil, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he want to hide the truth. See, but as you can see, the original inhabitants of Europe were dark-skinned people. These are the descendants of Japheth. Okay, Esau, Esau ain't look like this, man. All right, this is who Esau conquered. See, and again, they just came out a few years ago, and they said that this is how the original people of England look. Cheddar Man. It said Cheddar Man is a human male fossil found in Goff's Cave in Cheddar Gorge, Somerset, England. The skeletal remains date to the Mesolithic, and it appears that he died a violent death. All right, so this is and they did a reconstruction of the face, right? This is Japheth. Okay, these are the original Japhetic people that lived in Europe, England, all over. All right, today, because Esau pushed them out, let me go back to the map. Because Esau pushed them out of these areas, now some of them are still there, dwelling on very remote islands in this region, but they're very small in number. Okay, because Esau came in, conquered, pushed them out. And in ancient times, the Japhetic people, right? They were known as very skilled sailors. Okay, they were known as masters of the ocean. So when Esau came and conquered and pushed them out, they pretty much took to the sea and looked to inhabit other lands, the islands. Okay. Now the people today, whom are the Japhetic people, would be your Samoans, um, native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders, right? These are the Japhetic people today. All right. When you go back to the Minoans, they look very similar. All right. This is Japheth. That's another sign of Japheth. You know what I'm saying? Japheth was known to tattoo themselves in, dark blue ink. Okay. So Esau pushed them out and they resettled in the islands of the Pacific and, other places. All right. Look at that. This is who was in Europe originally, but they got pushed out. Okay. So now let's get Esau in the dictionary. Okay. Because this whole thing of Esau is not the so-called white man, that's really to save face. All right. So you got Vocab Malone, still pushing that, man, but really they're just trying to find a way out, because in the scriptures there's nothing good coming to Esau, so they got to find some kind of loophole to get salvation for Esau, but it doesn't exist. This is Esau in the Easton's Bible Dictionary. Harry, Rebekah's firstborn twin son. The name Edom, red, was also given to him from his conduct in connection with the red lentil pottage. Right? First and foremost, dealing with his skin, because when you go into Genesis, it describes how Esau looked, but it didn't describe Jacob, because Jacob came out normal, looking like the rest of his people. Esau came out looking different. So they said, damn, he looks so different that we got to record this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't never seen nobody come out like this, right? So Esau was red, man. His blood showed forth through his skin. Then you have the connection where Esau sold his birthright for one morsel of meat to Jacob, that red lentil pottage, because the pottage wasn't even done cooking yet. Esau couldn't wait, you know what I'm saying? So the meat wasn't even done cooking in the pottage, man. And how do so-called white people like their meat today? If you ask the average so-called white person, the average Edomite, they're gonna tell you that they like their steak medium rare. They're gonna tell you that they like their steak medium rare, right? Medium at best. But they will never tell you well done. I like it medium well. No, they're gonna tell you medium rare, rare, or just medium at best, like I said, man. But they like that blood inside of their meat, and that comes from their forefather Esau. So that's another sign of who the Edomites are, for which he sold his birthright. The circumstances connected with his birth foreshadowed the enmity which afterwards subsisted between the twin brothers and the nations they founded. In process of time, Jacob, following his natural bent, became a shepherd, while Esau, a son of the desert. Okay, don't the scriptures say that Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field? Who are known as the most cunning hunters upon the planet Earth? Let's just look it up real quick, man. I ain't even gonna type in white hunter. All I'm gonna do is type in hunter, and then we gonna see what pops up. See that? Edomite man and his dog. See? Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Whenever you watch them Like if you ever be on Discovery Channel or Animal Planet, it's always the so-called white man that's out there in the field. Now we're not saying Jake don't hunt too, but hey, you know, Esau be out there hunting for sport, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know why I'm on this Bing. Get it on Google. But yeah, man, Esau loved being out there in the field. Okay, making bird calls, smearing deer piss on himself. Trying to attract all the animals. You know, Esau, man. So yeah, Esau was a man of the field. Okay, let's jump down. It says, long after this, when the descendants of Jacob came out of Egypt, the Edomites remembered the old quarrel between the brothers and with fierce hatred they warred against Israel. And that's another thing how you know who the Edomites are, because Esau would have that perpetual hatred towards his brother Jacob. Now, last time I checked, I never seen no Hawaiians or Samoans or Japhetic people having such hatred to the point where they just want to kill the Israelites, man. It's only one group of people that have that type of hatred towards the Israelites, and that's Esau. The other nations hate us too, but it's not to the point where you know they want to slay us like that. It's just more so of an envious type of thing. Esau envious too, but his is to the point where he's taken over with so much hatred to the point where he want. Listen, man, the scriptures tell you that Esau, that we are grievous to behold to Esau, man. Esau hate looking at us. Esau always trying to get rid of us, man, cause hey, he can't stand us, man. You know. Now, when you deal with the original habitation of Esau, of which the Lord gave unto him as a possession, let's go here to the book of Deuteronomy, the second chapter. But look, we ain't even really gotten into the real meat of this lesson yet, man. And you should already be seeing uh, that there's no way that Japheth can be the white man. So this is Deuteronomy 2 and 5. Meddle not with them, for I will not give you of their land. No, not so much as a foot breadth, because I have given Mount Seir unto Esau for a possession. Now it says here in Deuteronomy 2 and 5, and also it says it in Joshua 24 and 4, that the Lord gave Esau Mount Seir for a possession, for a dwelling place. And another precept is Habakkuk 2 and 5, which says, he keepeth not at home. Why do Esau keep not at home? Like I mentioned earlier, this man has an embassy in every nation on the planet Earth. This man's military is everywhere. He's always in somebody else's business, man. He keepeth not at home. And going back to Genesis 4 and 12, let's get that real quick. It says that Cain, okay, was Esau come in the same spirit as Cain, because Esau is pretty much a continuation of Cain and Abel after the flood, right? Genesis 4 and 12. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Now, what do it mean to be a fugitive and a vagabond? A fugitive and a vagabond, a fugitive is someone that's running from justice. All right, they have committed crimes and they're running from the law. All right, they are running from their judgment, man. And a vagabond is someone that really has no home. They're just wandering from place to place. In Esau's case, he's killing other people in order to have himself a home. And even when he get that home, he don't stay there. Going back to Habakkuk 2 and 5, he keepeth not at home, man. See? So now, let's go back to Deuteronomy 2 and 5. So, hey, the Lord gave Esau Mount Seir for a possession. Now, let's look up Mount Seir real quick. Because if this don't show you that Esau is the so-called white man, then hey, the Lord just not dealing with you. All right? Well, I typed in Mount Seir. Well, matter of fact, let's just get it. Okay, so this is the region of Mount Seir. Our land was up here, Jerusalem was up here, and the Edomites dwelt down here. Okay, this is their original homeland before the Lord destroyed them out of it. Then they went up into the Caucasus Mountains and spread out, went up into Europe, conquered Japheth. That's how they gained those lands. All right, And you have, let me make that point real quick. You have during the Gallic Wars with Julius Caesar. Let me type this in real quick. Because, hey, the Romans, Esau, Edom, went up all up into Europe and conquered all these lands. See? The Greco-Roman Empire. So during the time of Julius Caesar, or the Gallic Wars, which took place from roughly 58 to 50 BC, right? The Romans, Esau, Edom conquered all this land, which was originally belonged to Japheth. See? Went all up in France, conquered here, went up in England, conquered them. All right. And then you even have, before I forget, one of these tribes that they conquered, that the Edomites conquered up in England, called the Silures. Let's get it. And forgive me if I'm all over the place, but it's just, through the spirit just take you certain places sometimes. Just bear with me. Hopefully it's edifying so far. Alright. Silures tribe. Let's check this out real quick. And this is, once again, the original people that dwelt in the lands of Europe. Okay. Now, it says the Silures were a powerful and warlike tribe or tribal confederation of ancient Britain, occupying what is now southeast Wales and perhaps some adjoining areas. Alright, jumping down, it says, according to Tacitus' biography of Agricola, the Silures usually had a dark complexion and curly hair. Due to their appearance, Tacitus believed that they had crossed over from Spain at an earlier date. Right? And who was dwelling in Spain prior to the conquering of the Romans? The descendants of Tarshish, which is a descendant of Japheth. So it says here they had usually a dark complexion and curly hair. Just like this. Okay, this is how they looked. Let's read in the swarthy faces. Now, swarthy means dark skin or the dark complexion. Faces of the Silures, the curly quality in general of their hair, and the position of Spain opposite their shores attest to the passage of Iberians in old days and the occupation by them of these districts. Okay, the Silures have swarthy features and are usually worn with curly black hair, but the inhabitants of Caledonia have reddish hair and large, loose jointed bodies. They are like the Gauls or the Spaniards, again, going back to the original Japhites that dwelt in those lands. So now, where was I at? Lost my train of thought. Okay, yeah, so I was saying we was on Mount Seir, right? So Esau went up in there, the Gallic Wars, 5850. Now, we going to get Petra, okay, which is the name that they give today for the original place at Mount Seir. Now check this out. This is Esau. This is what the Edomites. Okay, this is their original habitation. Petra, Mount Seir. See that? Now, does this remind you of any architecture that you see today? We're gonna get into it, but this should look very familiar. Okay. Now let's go to the book of Obadiah, because the book of Obadiah deals with the Edomites. And it mentions where the Edomites was at. We just established, going into Deuteronomy 2 and 5, that the Lord gave unto Esau Mount Seir as a possession. So now, let's go here. Obadiah 1 and 3 says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Now, we know that the so-called white man is very proud. He feels as though his kingdom is never going to end. He speaks boastfully, pridefully against the Most High. All right. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Now that right there should tell you who these people are. If this book is addressed to Esau, it says the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. Okay, Edom is another word for Esau, right? And it says here, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. And that's another sign of who the Edomites are. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. What people exalt themselves as the eagle? What's the mascot of America? The bald eagle. What are the mascot of the European nations? The eagle. When you go back to ancient Rome, what was the emblem of the ancient Roman Empire? The imperial eagle. The Greeks, the same thing. Okay, so these people always represent themselves as the eagle, man. All right, but it says the other dwells in the clefts of the rock. You see here that these people built their city out of the clefts of the rock. Okay, they was up in the mountains. Check this out. They was up in the mountains, man. They literally built their city out of the rock. You see? This is Esau, man. Okay, Esau was the original caveman. Okay, you see there. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right? Now, like I said, this should look familiar. So now let's just do this. There's a building in Greece that still stands to this day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do this just to make it a side by side comparison, so you can see, right? Petra. Get a good one here. Let's pull that up, right? Now, compare this building. Look at the architecture. Look at the columns. Look at the way that this is constructed. Right now, look at this. This is a building that still stands in Greece to this very day. The Parthenon. Check that out. The same architecture. No other people upon the planet Earth use this type of architecture, man. Okay, Ishmael got his architecture. Moab, the Chinese, they have their certain building style. Only Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, builds in this fashion. Let's get another example. The Roman Colosseum. See that? See the columns? So throughout Greece, Rome, see? The same thing. The same architecture, man. Alright? Now let's get the U.S. Senate building. Look at that. You can't deny it, man. The evidence is overwhelming. You can't deny it. You see? So how can anyone say that Esau Edom is not the so-called white man? Is not America ruling the world right now? And who runs America? Of course, we know that it's the small hats behind the scenes, but the so-called white man. It all goes back to Esau anyway. You can't get around it, man. See? There's no way that you can get around it. Esau Edom is the so-called white man. It's not Japheth. Now, like I mentioned earlier, man, Esau went up in here and conquered these lands. Mainly during the time of the Greeks and the Romans, they went up in here and conquered these lands. So now they occupied the lands that Japheth originally inhabited. So that's why these certain guys will come out and say Japheth is the white man, because they see white people there now, but they wasn't originally there. The original inhabitants of Europe were dark-skinned people, which we, showed you in this lesson, man. See? So the confusion of Japheth being the white man, that don't even make sense in a prophetic standpoint. Okay? Because Japheth, like we searched earlier, Japheth only came up 11 times when we searched it, and Esau came up 90 times. Esau Edom came up over 100 times combined. See? So Japheth does not figure prominently in end time prophecy, but Esau does. Now let's type in Edom Rome, because even the scholars know that Esau is tied to Rome, that they ruled the Roman Empire. And even now, modern day America and the beast, they rule the modern day Roman Empire. Or should I say that America and the beast is the revival of ancient Rome. Slovakia. So this is Esau, the ancestor of Rome. Let's see what pulls up here. In the Bible, Esau is the ancestor of the Edomites who live on Mount Seir, southwest of Judah. So how did the rabbis come to associate Esau and Edom with Rome? The two main factors are at work here: Christianity and Herod. Let's jump down. Edom and Rome. This basic sketch of the relationship between the polities of Israel, Judah, Judea, and Edom, Idumea, during the biblical and Second Temple periods indicates that Edom was a polity that ruled from the Mount Seir area, from Wadi al-Hassa southeast of the Dead Sea in modern-day Jordan and southward, eventually extending westward to Ashkelon on the Mediterranean coast and northward up to Hebron in the Second Temple period. Alright, to understand the development of the rabbinic interpretation of Esau-Edom, we need to look at the parallel process of allegorizing Esau, which begins with the Jewish Christ believing whatever. Right? So that's going into. But yeah, man, you can just Google it and it'll come up. You know what I'm saying? You can do your own research, and there's plenty of books out there. Matter of fact, let me search this. I think it's a book on. Yep, here it is. So you see, there's really no excuse. There's plenty of information out there. This is on Amazon. Okay. See here, Esau, Edom, Rome, the identity of the man of sin, which Esau is the man of sin. See there the United Nations logo, the Pope. Okay, all these ruling leaders, man, Edomites. All right. So prophetically, and even the scholars know that Esau, Edom is tied to Rome. Okay, and like we just went into the architecture, you can see that these are the same people. Okay, they showed in their architecture, man. These are the same people. Modern day America is the revised Roman Empire, Western Roman Empire, man. Okay, and you can see it. All right. Let's see. Let's get this. We're gonna close out on this. Yeah, Malachi 1 and 4. Okay, this is an end time prophecy dealing with Esau, Edom. It says, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. All right, so there was a point in time where Yahweh Bashem Yahushua destroyed Edom out of Mount Seir. And that's why they're not currently there today. Right? Because the Most High destroyed them out of there. That's why they said in their heart, we will return and build the desolate places. Have they not returned and built up the desolate places? Look how they built up America. Look how they built up Europe. Look how they built up Africa and all these other desolate lands, man. To forward their kingdom upon the earth. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Now, when you go into that word indignation, that means a righteous hatred. So the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushua has a righteous hatred toward the so-called white man, woman, and child. Okay, which it is a justified hatred, man. They be trying to make it seem like, oh, the Lord hates Esau because the Lord is wicked or something. Nah, man, all of the wickedness that the Edomites have done against the Lord's chosen people, that's why the Lord hates you. You see? That's why the Lord hates you and ultimately is going to put you in slavery, then destroy you, man. You see? So, hey, man. Showed you who Japheth is, showed you who Esau is. Okay, Japheth looks like this. Alright, now we're going to type in Esau. We're going to type in Esau and see what comes up. Because notice how they like to put every biblical character as white. But for some reason, they left Esau that way. Which Esau was indeed a white man. Okay? Esau. Right? Hairy. red. See? Esau, man. Japheth ain't look nothing like this. Okay? Japheth was looking like, let's pull it up again. Matter of fact, yeah, Japheth looking like this, man. This is Japheth. Esau. It's like night and day. Alright? So, hey, we're going to end it off right there. Hopefully this lesson was edifying through Rakah Kedash. Call Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Rakah Kedash. Until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the elect. Kom Yashala DTA in the Bible Ball. Shalom.